just have a stunning view no matter where you're walking. This is amazing. I feel like I'm back in Guatemala. It almost looks like this futuristic man-made waterfall. Well, good morning from the side of the road, and a little bit outside of San Salvador, we're actually in Ilopango, which used to be one of the most dangerous parts of El Salvador. Fun fact. But now it's extremely safe. At least that's what we've been told. Everything is really chill. Even where we're staying, everyone's like, nah, it's great. Yeah, now we're waiting for our bus to get to apparently one of the most underrated places in El Salvador. Everyone's honking at us. So if you just hear random horns, that's why. But anyway, we're going to one of the most underrated places apparently in El Salvador, Suchitoto. It's supposed to be one of the most beautiful little towns here. Everybody's staring at us. It's like we are in, it's just because we're not in like a really touristy area. It's probably like the first person here. Yeah, and I'm vlogging, so.
Alright, Andrew at the last minute read Suchitoto on one of the buses, flagged them down. We ran on. This is a really nice bus. This is not very crowded. This is not a bus you'd want to have all your stuff with though, because there's no storage and it's a little cramped.
Here we go, we're on the way.
But here we go.
Also, if you're wanting to go to Suchitoto from San Salvador as well, you also need to take bus 129. But this bus is like really chill, very empty. The ones we've taken in the past have been absolutely jam-packed. And I think it's because we're kind of on the way to like a really smaller town. One of the staples of the buses here is that you get no legroom. Zero legroom. But also I am like...
I think it's just because we're a bit tall.
We're a bit tall. Officially made it to Suchitoto. But before we start, we had to get breakfast. We haven't eaten today, and we've really been living off instant coffee recently. And so I'm really excited to get like an actual brewed cup of coffee.
It's been a few days without breakfast for us. So I'm just really craving desayuno típico. Breakfast here kind of ends early, like around maybe like 10:30 or 11. Maybe even earlier, but we've been missing it recently because we've been booking calls and teaching classes in the morning, and then by the time we get out around 11, everyone's like, no más desayuno. This cafe is called Casa de Abuela, and it's right next to the Church of Santa Lucia, the main church in the square, and it's really, really charming. I saw it online when I was looking for cafes. It has a good location, and this place is filled with coffee decoration. There's mugs everywhere, there's a painting of all the different coffee brewing methods. It's overall such a beautiful cafe, and I'm guessing the coffee's gonna be good too.
Also, that bus was not 30 minutes like we thought it was gonna be. They went through like this one little town, we got stuck in construction, got stuck in another construction, and it probably took like an hour and 15 minutes, and that was just from Ilopango, from where we were. So I'm assuming from San Salvador it could take you about 2 hours to get to Suchitoto. So, but we're here, which is the good thing.
We got some bad news. It looks like the whole center and maybe the church is under construction. We are here on a Wednesday, and I know that people recommend to come on the weekend because there's like little markets going on, but just with our time frame it worked best to come now. But oh my gosh, I hope we get to enter. That would be such a bummer. It still looks very beautiful. I'm very curious on what kind of construction they're doing and how they're going to change this little Parque Central. Encontramos la entrada.
Well, I think we just got super fortunate because we were just going we were like walking down the side street, not thinking we could get out of the church, and then a side door was open. We walked in, taking some shots, and then as soon as we walked out, the guy closed every single door. But what a gorgeous church.
And this is Iglesia Santa Lucia. It was built in 1853 and it has like colonial architecture. It's stunningly white on the outside.
Yeah.
Like almost is like...
It's blinding.
Blinding. beautiful though. And then on the inside, it's quite dark. But if you do pay attention, there's all these little details in the ceilings and in the floors and throughout the teal pops, and it's just really gorgeous.
Yeah, it was very, very beautiful.
So as you know by now, we are in Suchitoto, which is a little pueblo north of San Salvador, situated on the lake Suchitlan. This is like a really well-known town because of the colonial architecture that's still in place. It's very colorful, and a lot of people compare it to Antigua Guatemala, saying that this is El Salvador's Antigua. I can tell that it's already on the up and coming because of how much looks so freshly painted. There's a lot of really cute cafes and a lot of souvenir and indigo shops that are around. This town also has a deep history with the Civil War that was fought here in the 80s and 90s. You can take a Civil War tour, as there's like quite a few that are offered, but this was a place where guerrilla camps were located, so a lot of fighting took place in this area. But we want to learn more about the history, so we are headed to their local museum, which is right up the road, maybe like 11 minutes from the church.
It's so quiet. It's like extremely quiet. It's like the middle of the day on a Wednesday, and I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere. But the architecture here is absolutely stunning. It does remind me of the Ruta de las Flores, like being in like Apaneca or Ataco. I don't know what it is. It does feel different. Like it feels a lot hillier. And it feels so much calmer. Well, not so much calmer. Just a little bit calmer, I guess. You just have a stunning view no matter where you're walking. This is amazing. So now we're here walking through the Museo de Alejandro Cotto. He was a writer, a poet, cinematographer, filmmaker, a little bit of everything. And he was from Suchitoto. So they turned his house into a museum. And I love this style of architecture. I love like it feels like an old colonial type of home, I would say. Over here we should be able to see a beautiful view of the lake.
We're the only ones here right now, and it's so peaceful and calm. And this museum has more than just history on Alejandro Cotto. There's supposed to be some history about Suchitoto and El Salvador as a whole. So we heard it was a must-do if you were in Suchitoto. So far I'm loving it. This is an extremely intricate garden. It kind of feels like you just walked into, I don't know, a magical land. It's really beautiful and well thought out. There's a lot of fountains. They're not filled with water right now, but I couldn't imagine if they'd filled all these. There's so much space. I almost wonder what was used or what they used to do in this space right here.
Wow. Well, this is a view. Now this is Lago Suchitlan, and what a freaking view from this museum. So this is technically the biggest lake in El Salvador, but it's also a river, so.
And I know it flows from Honduras, and I heard, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that people say do not swim in this. Did you know that? Mm-mm. Because there's a lot of like dumping that happens, or it's like kind of polluted right now, but they're working on cleaning it up. But if you swim in it, it's really irritating to skin.
I mean, yeah, you can kind of see like this green smudging all around the lake. I don't know if that's pollution, algae, grass, yeah, you name it. There's a hawk flying around. We're about to get destroyed.
Oh, there's a vulture.
Oh my goodness, that thing is ginormous. After being out in the heat a little bit, we're gonna cool off and get some drinks here at Casa 1800. See, in Casa 1800. Apparently they have a really good horchata here, and they have like an amazing view of the river, so. I don't know if it could get any better than what we just saw though, but who doesn't want to cool off? This
restaurant is pretty well known in Suchitoto, and it's famous for this view right in front of us. A lot of people go sit in the chair and take a picture, which we'll probably do after. And you have this beautiful view of the lake. We're still kind of full from breakfast, but we did order an Horchata de Morro, which is a typical spice or like powder here. So it's a typical horchata and a lemonade, and then maybe a dessert later, and a lot of water.
It is a little bit hotter here than San Salvador, I think, so.
Yeah.
It's toasty.
It is toasty. Refreshing?
Yes, extremely.
Whoa, that's sweet, but good. Kind of tastes like a pumpkin
really?
Mix. Okay, I wanted to redo my description of what morro is because I did so poorly just a second ago. but I did some research, and the Horchata de Morro is a very important part of the gastronomy here in El Salvador. Morro is a type of fruit that you can find here, and the horchata is made from its seed. So that's why it has that like seedy, I kind of said it was similar to pumpkin seed. It has that like seedy, earthy taste. And in an horchata, it's added with sugar, and it's sweet and milky, and it's pretty good, refreshing. But that's what morro is. It's a type of fruit here. Horchata made from seed.
I feel like I'm back in Guatemala.
Día. Al otro lado del río, un segundo mirador.
Siempre derecha, perfecto. Gracias.
Okay, Andrew, do you know the route?
No. I mean, like, I think he just said siempre derecha, and I was like, okay, so if we come to a path, we go right. That's perfect for me, so.
All right.
Okay, so we are here. Right outside of Suchitoto, there is a little waterfall called Cascada de Tercios, and I'm going to seriously break an ankle on this road. But it's supposed to be absolutely stunning because of the way that the lava has formed the rocks on the waterfall. It looks like a bunch of little like granite tiles sticking out of the waterfall, and it's supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. So, oh my god, dude. Okay, he said end of the street and then turn right, and he said it's just like down. So, well, here we go. Okay, so we got to the top. So this must be a really tall waterfall because I can't see anything, and it has a huge drop off. And now we're just like walking and climbing on some rocks. So there's no route or like anything, so. This is more of like a rock scramble than it is a hike, I would say. It's kind of intense, I'm not gonna lie. It's like kind of straight down on these, all on these like huge jagged rocks. Wow, this is absolutely stunning to look at. It just looks like these giant boulders just sticking out of the waterfall. It almost looks like this futuristic man-made waterfall, but it's completely natural. And what did you say was the reason why?
Lava.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Lava is the reason why that this looks like that.
We didn't get any Wi-Fi yesterday, so our research on this is a little bit lower than normal.
But holy crap, and this thing is huge. I wasn't expecting it to be this big. To be honest, I don't know if I want to go to the bottom. I have a great view here. Wow, and really, really impressive.
We're really lucky because unlike most travelers, we're visiting during the rainy season, which means water is flowing from the waterfall. If you come in during the peak tourism season, but also the dry season, no water will be falling, or just like a tiny bit is what I read in reviews. But this is beautiful. I haven't seen any pictures with this much water flow, and I think it's because genuinely people don't travel as much in the month of September. But I feel really lucky to have seen it like this. I will say it's a little bit hard to get down here. Everyone said wear good shoes, and unfortunately this is what mine look like right now. Extra slippery. Also, don't forget a hair tie. I'm like dying.
This is 1000% worth the trip to get here. And you can go all the way down to the bottom if you want. I'm pretty sure you can't swim in that water. Would be my first inclinations. And if you really want to walk, you can. The tuk-tuk was $2. Very easy to get here. And it literally took us maybe 5 minutes. So 100% worth it. Oh, it's $1 to get in though. $1 to get in, and I think $1 to park. So if you're arriving by car, there's some information for you. Oh my goodness.
Gracias igual.
Oh my god. Wasting valuable footage.
My friend.